Hello and welcome back to Shelf Center. This is Bryce. Thanks so much for stopping by. Thanks for liking and subscribing if this is something you end up enjoying. You never know, it could happen. Anyway, last week was a bit of a whirlwind. I just kept getting videos out. It's probably a record for the channel, especially views wise. Like these, I had all these things I've been working on for ages, and then it just kind of all fell into place right there at the end of the year. So thanks everyone. Thanks to all the new subscribers that are here. But let's jump into my how did December go and what's my TBR for this next month. Keeping in mind that I am doing working on still a video, kind of just detailing, maybe almost a vlog, but not really, because it's all gonna get filmed in one time. But been working on just an update for the year, the whole year, how to do with my goals and everything. Probably a little more navel gazing than you even care about, but I thought it would be a good kind of summation of the year, see how we're doing, kind of reflect and move forward from there. Also plan to do a couple more lists based on last year. Last week was a little crazy, but this year it's been hard getting back into it, so I apologize for all these delays. First of all, let's get into our December update. How did we do? I gotta be honest, it's not my best month of reading, but it wasn't terrible. I got 3 books read, which I'm happy with. I started a long book at the end there, and so it's kind of bled over into this next month, and anyway, we'll get to that. So anyway, first things first, I read The Tower of Swallows. That's book 4 in the Witcher series by Andrzej Sapkowski. Excellently done. I had a hard time choosing when I did my top 10 list for the year whether it was going to be The Tower of Swallows or Baptism of Fire. Went with Baptism of Fire. Maybe now that I think about it, The Tower of Swallows, at least there's this weird thing that Sapkowski does in his books where you have like the time of contempt, and the characters just kind of like suddenly start talking about and mentioning the time of contempt all the time when they hadn't before, or the blood of elves, or baptism. It's gonna be a baptism of fire. I mean, I still loved him, but it just seemed like all of a sudden everybody's mentioning this one thing that happens to be the title of the book. Tower of Swallows makes sense, so and again, why they wouldn't just kind of use it in that same way. So maybe just for that reason I should have put it up there. But I did. I really enjoyed Tower of Swallows. We're actually going to be talking about that in a live stream with the Joes, with J.R. Carroll and J.C.M. Byrne this weekend. So anyway, keep your eyes peeled for that. Then I did read The Fellowship of the Ring, The Lord of the Rings, book number 1 by J.R.R. Tolkien. Arguably just the first third or the first 2 books of the Lord of the Rings standalone book, depending on how you see it. I'm good either way. I don't think it matters. It's fine to pad my numbers though, you know, whatever. But this is the 4th time I've read it, so you could say I like it, you know. Maybe I might like it, you know. Too high, it just keeps getting higher. Absolutely love The Fellowship of the Ring. There's a buddy read going on the channel, and so check out the Discord. I guess on the Discord there's a buddy read going on. Definitely check it out. All are invited. If you don't even want to read it, you just read it before, you know, all discussion is welcome. There's even been a lot of discussion about the new Lord of the Rings game. So anyway, that's apparently free to play. I need to check it out. So a lot of people are getting on that. I think that's cool. Anyway, I heard only good things about it. And then finally, I rounded out the month with the book Cosmic Banditos. This is one, it was recommended when I did my top something, I forget what the number was. I might have done a random number of just humorous science fiction. And so, of course, I was talking like Hitchhiker's Guide and a number of other books. But one that was mentioned was Cosmic Banditos. And it was a nice short book to round out the year. Pad my numbers a little. Actually, at that point, I didn't need the padding. But it was good to read. I guess my expectations might have been like that it would have been really funny. And there were definite funny parts. There were plenty of funny parts. I will give it that. It wasn't quite as knee slapping as I thought it was going to be, but I did enjoy it. It really talks about banditos a lot. It's more than that. It's probably, I think the author in the foreword was even like, this isn't really a science fiction. And I could see that it's not really, but also it does talk a lot about science, but like real science. as in like particle physics kind of science, and technically is fiction. So if you want to put those together, science and fiction, I guess you could say it's science fiction, but not really in like this is taking place in the future with futuristic stuff, futuristic technology. It's pretty much based in the physics knowledge at the time, at least. And anyway, it's some interesting, thought-provoking topics, but I don't know. Maybe I need to read it again or something. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it either. It was pretty much right there in the middle, kind of for me. But that would make, as I mentioned, and I'll get into this a little better in another video, but that's 56 out of 55 books that I did read last year. So I hit my Goodreads goal, and I was very, very happy to do that. What's funny is when you read a book twice in 1 year, it kind of throws off the list that I had, because I have a list going where you do shelves on Goodreads, and one of them is I just say the year, and then that's, put each book that I read in that year into that shelf. But I apparently read The Fellowship of the Ring twice last year. Once earlier in the year when I finished it with my twins, and then later, obviously, in December, where I just finished it again. It's just kind of funny. That's how it turned out. But anyway, let's get into my TBR for January. And as always, it's a TBR. Maybe it's an MBR. It's a to be read, might be read, who knows. I'm trying to do better about leaving my mood reader self open. But at this point, I am a part of way too many things, too many buddy reads that it's just, I'll be honest, I might have overcommitted. So that's gonna maybe be addressed in my goals video that I've been talking about. Anyway, not overcommitting myself, because I want to just read them all and hang out and have fun chats all the time. That's all I want to do. First off, as I have mentioned and in the past here, but I am reading still Republic of Thieves by Scott Lynch. This is book 3, The Gentleman Bastard series. Absolutely loving it. Like I said, I started this at the end of December, and it will bleed into the new year. And I'll be honest, people bring up this question all the time, and I'm one that, look, you read long enough, you create these goals, these things. Something, if you're an avid reader, some book is gonna transfer from 1 year to the next. And so I just count it the year that I finished the book. Even if I finish the last page in the new year, then it gets counted on the new year. Finished a book, because I'll be honest, every single year it happens. So there's always something that has bled over from the last year. So it works itself out in the wash, so to say. So anyway, that's book number 1. It's on my TBR for January. Republic of Thieves is, of course, going to be read. It's, being read currently, I believe, by Murphy Napier. And then I'll be doing a live stream with her and potentially some others, but I think at least Grace Dion, who we did the Red Seas Under Red Skies and the Lies of Loch Lamora discussion videos with, and possibly Overly Average Ben for this last one, if he can fit it into his schedule. So that'd be great. I am definitely looking forward to that again. This world is so great. It's so much fun, and it's just great to get those insights from other people. But I love Loch Lamora, love Jean Tannen, and the whole, just everything. I love a good con. It's just great. Everybody getting conned out of everything. It's great. All right, then, of course, my read continues through the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and that's going to be with The Two Towers. So I've already started that one as well, because we're keeping to a schedule, okay? 1 chapter a day, and I've already got my couple chapters in to keep up. And if I could only find the time to actually talk about it, because that's the whole goal of the buddy read. But that's apparently where I keep failing. But I did create new threads on the Discord for The Two Towers, and we're going each book in The Two Towers gets its own thread. So there's 2 books per book, if that makes sense. There's 3 books total in the trilogy. There's 6 books total that the trilogy is broken up to within the books, 2 books per each main book, and 6 books total. And books, and also there's books in the books. And they talk about books in the book. Can you believe that? I gotta stop talking about this. And then A Little Hatred by Joe Abercrombie. I mean, just that name is just great. Alone, it gets me excited. That's one that potentially we'll be doing a buddy read. This is one where I hope to just be able to catch up. That is the problem. That is it's anyway, there's a lot on my plate here. These are kind of some big chunkin' books right now. So hopefully I can keep up with everything. That is the goal. But Age of Madness, #1. This is the last kind of main trilogy for Joe Abercrombie that I'll need to catch up finally on all my Joe Abercrombie, other than any novellas or short stories that he's written, which I do still need to get to. Finally, this may or may not happen in this month, so we'll see, but we're going to get on to the next book in the Witcher series. Again, like I said, all I'm doing are buddy reads right now. And maybe I need to just read the things that I want to read. That's the real problem, which are these books. But it's funny how it just starts to be like, okay, maybe my mood reader self is the one that starts to struggle, like being constrained to all these things. I'm constrained enough in my life. My reading, at least, I typically like to keep it just free and open. But anyway, here we are. Here we find ourselves. So I have heard from great commenters, so I thank you guys so much. Seriously, I'm always getting great advice from my commenters. I'm like, why aren't you guys running this? What am I doing? Just with the next Witcher book, potentially doing Season of Storms, which is another short story collection and a prequel, I believe, which might be a better precursor to The Lady of the Lake, which is, I believe, the final book in the main kind of book series of The Witcher. And then I'll be all ready to go for the next book, which potentially that should come out, that the author is writing right now, that may come out at the end of this year, if not at the beginning of next year, which is very exciting because I will be ready for it, I think. I don't see any reason why I wouldn't be. But anyway, that's the question, is I got to talk to my Joes and see what they have to say about it. So anyway, definitely expect more here. Man, what a crazy end of the year. Sorry that my beginning of the year is a little slower than I really wanted it to be. Just vacations and whatnot have not aligned for me to be able to make videos right now, or let alone edit them. But we're getting back on schedule, back onto it. Wanted to at least get something out here this week, and hit the ground running, because that's what we do here. All right, thanks so much for stopping by. Thanks for liking and subscribing. We'll catch you next time. Bye.